We're about to embark on a trip to Belgium with 4 teachers from Torrance High School, each of the high schools. And we're going to teach them about World War II, the significance of World War II.
And we're going to be talking with survivors of World War II, people who lived through the German occupation of Belgium and who experienced a war zone.
In my class, we talk about Battle of Bulge. We talk about a lot of the major World War II battles. So I think it's going to be so much more fascinating for me and for my students, having had some, first-hand experience talking to people who were involved with it, seeing the places that were so important at that point in history.
What would you like students in Belgium and the United States to know about your experiences? What would you like for the teachers to tell them?
Il faut que les jeunes sachent que nous avons vécu une période où on a souffert beaucoup.
We lost freedom. Well, you have to know the whole story of the Battle of Belgium, 1940 and things like that. That's the moment we lost freedom, because we ran before the invasion of the Germans straight with a family, father, mother, 4 kids and 3 bicycles. We did the distance from Antwerp to Dunkirk, somewhere north of Dunkirk, not Dunkirk itself. And then we had to go back. And on the way back we saw our first Germans, which gave us the impression of not being free anymore. My father was arrested by the Gestapo in January 1943 for being a lieutenant in the resistance group Mouvement National Royaliste, which is National King's movement. He was arrested and he was condemned by a German tribunal to 3 years night and fog. Night and fog means that you lose your name, they tattoo a number on your arm, and during all that period, 3 years, you're not allowed to use your name anymore.
We don't really know how important it is until we lose it, and that's one thing that's really been impressed upon me in visiting with people that suffered during that time. They really appreciate it a lot more than maybe people in my generation in the United States.
A lot of people don't know that Hitler's plan, not just for Belgium but France too, was to take the prisoners of war from those countries, take them to Germany, working them as slave labor, and then working them to death, so there would no longer be any males and the Germans could move in.
Well, my company, the 607th Grazer Registration, was comprised of 125 men. Sometimes we worked in platoons and going out and gathering the dead. Sometimes the dead were very close to us, sometimes they were a little ways. But we gathered them and brought them back to a temporary cemetery. And we did the same thing, by the way, with the Germans. We picked up the Germans as well.
I had my squad digging in, and me and the half-track driver would sleep under the half-track. The artillery fires, it hits the trees and the shrapnel like raindrops all over, so the half-track protect you.
My name is Rocky Moretto. I was with the first group of 18-year-olds to be drafted, and after training I came to England, and there joined the 1st Infantry Division. We made the invasion at Omaha Beach in Normandy, and fought on through France, Belgium, Germany, and finished up the war in Czechoslovakia on VE Day, May 8, 1945.
Quand nos parents et grands-parents parlent de vous, ils vous considèrent comme des héros. Est-ce le cas en Amérique?
Well, yes, a lot of people think of us as heroes, but this gentleman here went through a lot of very, very difficult times, and so did Rocco. They were right in the heat of battle. My job was a little bit different in facing dead soldiers every day for 11 months. It was difficult in a different way. we living veterans feel that the real heroes are in the graves in the cemetery. Of course, there are also a lot of combat soldiers. I think of these two men as real heroes as well. But the biggest heroes are the ones who gave their lives at a very young age, 18, 19, 20. They're in the cemetery. And that's why when you go to the cemetery and you look at those crosses and the Stars of David, you must put a face on every one and think they were young and they gave their lives. And they are the heroes.
I was a member of the 1st Infantry Division. I met Bob as the outfit returned from the Sicilian campaign. I met him in England in November of 1943. I served with him on D-Day and right up until the day that he was killed on January 24th, 1945, as we attacked our way out of the Battle of the Bulge, first attack out of the Bulge. And Bob was killed by artillery fire.
What does Bob's sacrifice mean to you about freedom?
Well, freedom is very important. The men that I served with were outstanding patriots, and they were anxious to protect our freedoms. And I can tell you I was very, very proud to serve our country. Do you mind? I'd like to put this flag down. This is the first time I had an opportunity to come to the gravesite. And I can tell you it's a very, very emotional feeling. Bob was an outstanding soldier, a really great guy.
Ils ne savent pas, il faut en être privé pour savoir ce que c'est la liberté. On est libre, on trouve ça tout naturel, c'est naturel d'être libre. C'est le jour où vous êtes enfermé que vous voyez ce que c'est le prix de la liberté.
Liberty for me, I have experienced life in communist countries before the Berlin Wall came down, so I know what liberty is here in Western European countries.
Ce que les enfants d'Amérique devraient savoir de la liberté, que c'était bien qu'ils sont venus nous libérer et qu'il ne faudrait plus jamais faire des guerres comme ça.
Mais j'ai toujours parlé avec les gens qui étaient contre les Américains. J'ai dit, moi je suis libre, j'achète. Si j'ai envie d'acheter un coca, j'achète un coca. Je n'ai pas envie, je n'achète pas. Une voiture américaine, si je l'aime pas, je l'aime pas. On est libre.
War is chaos. It's a mess. You don't always win, but ultimately you have to win if it's fighting for freedom. And that's what I think those people learn, and that's what they appreciate about our contribution.
Oui, je dis que ce sont les professeurs qui doivent enseigner ça à leurs élèves pour que des choses comme ça ne se reproduisent plus, quoi.
Here is France, Germany, and Belgium's right in between. Okay, so we're going to learn that Belgium is very important in both of the world wars because of its location between Germany and France.
When you get the opportunity to see the tombstones that are etched with names of boys not much older than you, You figure you guys are 16 or so, and some of these boys were 18, 19, 20 years old.
Eastern part of Belgium was annexed, so they didn't have any of the freedoms that they had before, like freedom of religion, and now they're living under Nazi regime.
Would you fight to protect someone else's freedom? We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Some of you said, I wouldn't go, I wouldn't fight, I wouldn't want to die for something that wasn't in my country.
Yeah, I would protect other people's freedom because not only would it be protecting ours and theirs, but it also proves that you have ability to do what you can and stuff like that.
This was such a phenomenal experience, and I say experience because it wasn't a trip, it was an experience. We heard firsthand from people who had their freedom taken away and then had it given back to them by selfless individuals that were fighting, you know, half a world away from their own country to preserve this ideal of freedom.
I feel that the veterans that have fought and died for this country are the greatest thing that we have, and we have to learn to hold on to them and learn from them and understand what they went through.